Grown Folks Production. In mix. With the commish, Nate.
All right, what it do, guys? Welcome to Press Pass Live with your boy Nate, our weekly OMFL podcast show. This is a Saints Buccaneers watch along because my Saints are playing right now, but I still wanted to get one of the Press Pass Lives done. I've been gone for the last 3 days and just getting back this afternoon with my wife. Settled in, kind of all the unpacking, kind of getting the house kind of resettled again after leaving a teenager by himself in a house all weekend, and then turning on the Saints game and watching a little bit of that before the wife went to bed. And now I'm trying to do a little watch along. Good stop with the Saints Bucs as I do a Press Pass Live. And man, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of really good games to talk about. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few games, look at some stats, leaders, nothing super sexy this week. I didn't have any co-hosts, but I'm off starting tomorrow for the next 2 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of content. I'm going to be able to do a lot of games. Already working on some new angle ideas for the shows, for Saints and Sinners, for Press Pass Lives. So I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. There's some new audio stuff coming in that I'm going to be working on, some new lights that are ordered today that are going to be coming in. So I'm really excited about how we're going to finish off 2021. Hopefully we'll get to play some PUBG, maybe some Call of Duty, maybe some Battlefield, all within the next 2 weeks. It should be a really good time. Yes, okay, thank you. Just making sure my Saints didn't get a penalty there. That would have been a first down. So lots of really good stuff coming up. Let's jump right into it and get ready to look at a couple of games from week number 11. We just advanced to week number 12 a couple of minutes ago, and there's some really good battles that are coming down to the closing lanes in the last 6 weeks here, which is crazy to say that we're in week 12, but there's 6 more weeks. Just one additional week, Nate. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's go jump into it and check it out and look at some really good games from week number 11. Again, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Looks like Chet is a little dead, but it's the holidays. You kind of expect some of that. But if you're hanging out with me, come talk, man. Come hang out with me. Let me hear your voice. I want to hear what you're thinking about week number 12. And I just want to hear what's coming up for the holidays for you. I want to hear what you're wanting to talk about. We're going to open up the mailbag in just a little bit, so lots to talk about. Man, some really good games. Carolina playing the Seahawks pretty close in a 10-point game there. Cincinnati absolutely manhandling my New Orleans Saints. But look at Houston and KC coming down to a 3-point game. Houston really coming back in the fourth quarter, putting up 14 points. Just wasn't enough to hold off Kansas City, who jumped out to that early 13-point lead. Roger just can't seem to get those last-minute breaks. He either jumps out to a big lead and then he kind of gives it up late, or he just doesn't have just enough firepower to make the comeback really late in that game. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, a 1-point victory for Pittsburgh. That is a massive game from him, scoring 20 points in the second half, holding the Cleveland Browns to only 13 points as they took a really close, 16-10 lead in the half. Second half was all about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And look at this, 0 turnovers for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 3 for the Cleveland Browns. And that tended to be the difference maker in here. Massive victory for Cly and his Pittsburgh Steelers. There's a couple other games that were really good. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders, 39-36 as Colin comes out on top of that one. 25 points combined by both of these teams in the fourth quarter. 23-7 start for the Las Vegas Raiders. I have not watched this game. I haven't even checked out the stats. I'm going to assume There was a pick six or two in there. That has been Colin's bugamaboo there in all of his games. He's turning the ball over. I can relate, Colin. I have that same bad habit that you do. But Colin comes roaring back in the second half of this one, scoring 15 in the fourth quarter to get a 3-point victory there on the road against Las Vegas. Tennessee falling to Baltimore by just 6 points. Big game there for both of those teams. Baltimore able to squeak that one out. Look at Tampa Bay and San Francisco. There we go, Callaway. A 1-point victory for the San Francisco 49ers. Penguins has that team playing really good football. I mean, he just took over a really bad team. He's starting to get the feel for them. They're not built for him. They're a really good team that was kind of left there for him. He put up a ton of points in this one, 14 in the fourth quarter to come away with a 1-point victory against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So 2 brand new owners with 2 brand new teams, 5 turnovers for the San Francisco 49ers, 3 turnovers for the Tampa Bay Bucs for 8 total turnovers in this one. And that's going to lead to a lot of points. And I think there was one more game that I wanted to talk about. Yep, Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. I don't know how many of these games were human and how many maybe were Sims or CPU games. I can't keep up with that stuff. So I'm just calling them all kind of down the middle. But a 38-33 victory for the Miami Dolphins, a 5-point victory for them. A really big win against a struggling Jets team, but it doesn't matter. You're on the road. You're against a really good player who can make you kind of pay if you make mistakes. And Ross does all the necessary things. He does have 2 turnovers in this game, but he runs the ball really well, played really great defense. And his team scores 14 in the fourth quarter to come away with a 5-point victory there on the road against the New York Jets. And that is a quick look at a couple of those. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. My bad. Let's go back over here. Is this what I want? That's what I was trying to get to. Let's come back over here. Missing the music delay, so I gotta get that one fixed and I get play Taysom. So let's look at a couple of stats leaders, and then we're going to talk about the standard, which probably people who are watching this later are wondering what the hell is the standard. But I think I've had some interesting conversations in the last couple hours that I think we need to talk kind of about the standard. I see that it showed 4 playbooks, but nobody stayed. I don't know why nobody stayed. I guess Sunday night football. I guess it's the holidays. Some people are already traveling. Some people are probably already trying to get their shopping done. So whatever it may be, this is going to go up. You guys are going to get to see it. Doing a lot of work Monday, Tuesday on a lot of YouTube thumbnails I'm behind on, a lot of content that I'm behind on. So we're going to make sure that we pump a lot of that out. Let's go look at a couple of stats leaders. We're going to talk about the standard, and I'm going to go finish watching my Saints game, which I can't believe. It's already 9:42 in the fourth quarter. Saints are driving, though. Taysom needs to keep this drive going. They have struggled on third down. Good play there, Kamara. Give him the first. Let's look at a couple of stats leaders here in the OMFL. Dak Prescott leading the lead in yards, Tannehill, Herbert, Massey, McMillan, which is kind of neat to see. That guy's had a great season, just way too many interceptions. Dickerson, Murray kind of rounding off those. What would that be? The top 7? So some really good seasons there. But when you start to get to Herbert on up, you really start to see those guys starting to separate themselves whenever it comes to yards. But we know that is not what it all comes down to. Let's look at some rating. Matthew Stafford. I know my guy Trey would love to see this. Matthew Stafford, 74%, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,500 yards. He did miss a handful of games, and so that is what has kept his yards low. But you got to look at the touchdown to interception ratio, the completion percentage. I mean, he's right there hanging with Dak Prescott. Some would argue having a better season with 7 extra touchdowns, the one extra percentage. He's having, 2 less interceptions and only 1,000 less yards. And Taysom almost threw a pick right there. And what I think is 2 or 3 less games. Let's get the touchdown leader here. It's going to be Stafford. Herbert right behind him, but 30 interceptions is going to hurt him. Dickerson with a pretty good season, 27 and 16. Everybody else is having a lot of interceptions. Dak Prescott, I think he's going to be in the running for some of these awards, 21 and 7. Tua having a great season, 20 and 12 with 70%. And these are really, really good seasons. Even Mac Jones right there, 20 and 14 is another really good season that you got to kind of tip your cap to. I mean, watch this 3rd and 11. Taysom back to pass. He wants to run. He is going to run. Ooh. Kind of got hammered there. All right, let's look at a couple of running back leaders here. Let's get over here. Let's get some music in this since I'm all by my little lonesome. Montgomery having an outstanding season for the Chicago Bears. 10 rushing touchdowns, over 1,000 yards, a 5.5 carry, 22 broken tackles. Dalvin Cook right there with him, only 6 touchdowns, but only 20-ish, 16 yards less than Cook. Field goal's good. Thank you, Saints. But still 22 broken tackles. Elliott's pretty far behind. A lot of other guys pretty far behind when it comes to yards. But look at what the rookie is doing. 18 touchdowns. Elliott with 11. We got DeAndre Swift with 11. Kind of an unsung hero for them. As great of a season as that defense is having, as great of a season that Stafford is having, Swift is having just as good of a season. Miles Sanders for the Eagles having a great season. Not a ton of touchdowns, but he's doing really good in the yards. Paul Kellum, the rookie, having a great season. 842 yards for 4 broken tackles, 7 touchdowns. I wish it showed you yards per... Oh, right there, Nate. 4.9 yards per carry. So a bunch of rookies having really good seasons running the ball. Raymond Gatewood, a rookie that has kind of set the league on fire this year. 78 receptions, 1,338 yards, 6 touchdowns in 11 games. CeeDee Lamb, 71 with 12 and 7. Tyreek Hill, you're going to see big numbers from him. He takes the top off. 10 touchdowns, 46 receptions, 1,200 yards. That's a 26.1 yards per catch average. GJ Metcalf doesn't want to be outdone. DK having a great season. 39 catches, 978 yards, 8 touchdowns for a 25.1 average. Schwartz having a great season. Hopkins, Jefferson. So kind of some of the names that you would expect to see. But Gatewood just out of the gate, pun not intended, having an amazing season for the Tennessee Titans, and especially what he's doing here as a rookie. Unfortunately, there's no real great blocking stats to look at. Let's look at some tackles, though. Michael Parkins, we see that Dwayne, I think, uses him a lot, and he is just outstanding with Micah. He can really shut you down. He knows how to just kind of shoot the right gaps. He can play really great defense, especially in the passing lanes. He doesn't get a lot of interceptions. He's got none. He's only got 3 sacks, but he's got 108 tackles. He just gets in those passing lanes that causes you to go in a different direction. Reuben Foster, look at this guy reviving his career in Carolina. 101 tackles, 8 for a loss, only 1 sack. Raekwon Smith, it's interesting to see that he only has 1 sack, really known to be a great pass rusher, but putting up really, really good tackle numbers. Vander Esch with 96, Edmonds with 95, Wagner with 92, and I can firsthand tell you Wagner should be considered for Defensive Player of the Year because what he is doing with him is just outstanding. What's up, Shocks? Good to see you, buddy. Everybody's got me lonely here tonight, Shocks, so it's good to see you in here hanging out with me. Some big wins for you, Shocks. You've had a really good, it feels like you're gaining some traction with your team, and I don't know, just it feels good to see you starting to see a lot of that hard work pay off. Tackles for loss, Zadarius Smith with 18, Max 17, Sweat for 17, Warner 17. A ton of guys with 14s and 15s here. We need a Tom Brady interception. Play Lattimore. Sacks, you got Zadarius Smith with 11, Mac with 10.5. Mac really reviving his career. Good thing he came back whenever we got to do the restart, and the Bears did not lose him. 10.5 sacks for him. Sweat with 10, Watt with 10, still getting it done. Chandler Jones with 10, 20 from his bookend defensive tackle. I thought he was going to be defensive end, but he's put him in defensive tackle and defensive end. The Cardinals doing what they do really well, and that's get after the quarterback. Good play there. Set up a big 3rd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. And finally, some interception leaders. I got to be honest with you. I'd like to see those sack numbers maybe a hair higher, just a hair, but I like them. They feel good. They feel natural, normal. Interception numbers are always going to be a little bit higher because we kind of explained it and talk about it. None of us are NFL quarterbacks. We're always going to have a higher percentage of interceptions because we try to force way too many throws. 3rd and 10 for the Bucs. Back to passes time. Who's got some pressure up the middle? Got him. Onyemata with a sack. Feels like last year when we beat them for Thanksgiving, just without scoring all the points with Drew Brees. Oh, Tom, don't cry to the ref about getting sacked. Let it go, big guy. Nice play, defense. McCourtney, Adams, Matthew Horn, J.C. Horn having a good season. Marcus Peters, Trey Flowers, Sneed. So a lot of guys up here. Chisholm, a good rookie, having a great season. We're going to see some really good rookie of the year votes, especially at running back with the receiver having a great year. A lot of good rookie quarterbacks that are going to want to be mentioned. I just think those interception numbers are going to hurt them. We got Lloyd having a great season over here on the defensive side. Some may say he's kind of a shoo-in because we're not seeing a lot of rookies in some of the other categories. So big season there for the Vikings and Chisholm having a good year. All right, let's get back over here. Let's talk about the standard. But before we do, let's see. Is this what we want? Let's make that disappear. Bring this in. Nope. That's what we want. We're going to make that bigger here in just a minute. Insert your jokes right there. But I want to kind of talk about the standard a little bit. Okay. Long story short, just me being me, trying to watch the game, kind of talk shop with you guys, even though it's lonely. Shots fan, I'm so lonely in here tonight. Usually the chat's just rolling. I'm lonely here, but it is what it is. So we're going to make it happen. But kind of watching Taysom here to see what he does here on 2nd and 9. He's just had a hard time being efficient. You know, the Bucs are doing a good job on those quarterback design runs. It's been, I did a recording on the way home today. I was gone for a couple of days for a funeral for a very dear friend of mine that died way too young, left a family of 5 behind at 49 years old. Cancer's a terrible C word, and just a really sad situation. And then after that, my wife and I had a couple of day getaway to North Louisiana for a big festival of the lights up there. And then we made the drive home today. And on the drive, it was about 3.5 hours or so. Terrible throat, Taysom. We turned on the camera and we did a quick recording for our church community. In that, I kind of was open and honest kind of about where I am in my life and how 2021 is ending with a lot of weird things happening. There's like these really good things that I'm very blessed with my job. I'm very blessed financially. This year has been a good year for us. Professionally, we worked really hard and paid the price, and it finally started to pay off this year. Our brand new baby granddaughter was born, Stella, who's just brought a lot of joy to the house, and there's a lot of things to be very proud of and happy about. And at the same time, we had one of the largest hurricanes to ever hit Louisiana literally come right through where I live. The eye passed 10 miles from here, which puts us right in like the worst area you could be. I'm still living without a roof. They just dropped off the stuff this week to start working on it this upcoming week at some time, and people are still not in their homes around here. I had some relationships that are coming to a close in my church community that kind of helped us get things going, and our church community isn't where I want it to be. I've been working really hard, but it's COVID, and getting people to come check out something that's a little different and new along with like COVID and coming to a stranger's home seems really weird. And the reason I'm saying all of that is that it puts me in this weird place that in this Madden, we had all this excitement about the community because of all the effort and energy that went into building the new franchise updates. And then it was delayed. Moving to PlayStation 5 was rough. That was to be expected, especially with COVID and the shortage of chips and the shortage of PlayStation 5s. And then FPR issues came kind of to a head with a couple owners. We lost some guys that were unplugged, some key guys that were close to me. And then there's been some relationships lately that have ended. And you guys know how I feel about this idea of personal. Don't take it personal. It's not personal. It is. All of it is. That's a cop out. That's a way to like be mean and hateful towards people and have like a get out of jail free card, right? It's a way that I can say or do or act in a kind of a unsavory way and kind of have a get out of jail free card. It just doesn't fly with me. And so we've had some people that I've had kind of up and down relationships with, kind of abruptly do other things. And then I watch them do all this other work for other communities, but not here. Watch Twitter handle names change, and I see people playing characters on Twitter supposedly, and I've had the race card played at me this Madden, and at times it becomes tough, right? Because I put so much energy and effort into this, and it often for just a select few is not appreciated sometimes. And so it got me to just thinking, almost defense. I'm doing a Saints watch along, so I'm watching my Saints right here on my iPad while I do the show. But then I had another conversation tonight, and it's kind of rinse repeat of a conversation we've had a zillion times. And I made a statement on my personal Twitter, on my personal Facebook, a thing I'm going to craft a message around. But in the end of 2021, the beginning of 2022, and hopefully for all of the rest of my personal life, I refuse to let others make me the villain in their stories. And I use a lot of my energy in life, especially here at Grown Folks and OMFL, explaining myself, explaining my decisions, explaining my reasonings, defending myself. And I'm just not doing that anymore. And there's a standard here. And there's a standard of gameplay. That's why we have FPR. There's a standard of kind of a level of engagement that it takes to be an owner here. That's why we've lasted for 22 years, coming up in a couple of weeks. There's a standard, dang it, good tackle though. There's a standard of effort and energy and kind of requirements to be a board member. I've tried to lighten that load because I've watched it burn so many people out. But at the end of the day, I want people who want to be here. I want people who dig what I'm doing, who dig what I built here, who love the content, who are just engaged. And you're not going to like everything I do, you're not going to like every rule I have to make, you're not going to like every decision I have to make, but like you get the gist of what the OMFL is about and the Grown Folks. And if you don't, that's totally cool. You don't have to. Is that a flag? No flag. Oh yeah, flag. you can go play somewhere else. There's other really great leagues here. TFL, NBC, ATG, right? There's tons of other great leagues here. Tons of other great leagues in the Madden universe. There's a couple of servers we can point you towards. Go find somewhere where you dig that commissioner, where you dig that group of people. Because at the end of the day, some people are making beds that you're going to live in whenever this Madden's over. And I hope that you don't realize what you had taken away from you because of your decisions or choices after it's gone. That's just the way it is. The standard here is that we keep things fair so that Madden becomes as much of a chess match in both personnel building, player building, play calling, the ability with your stick skills. That's hard to spit out tonight. All of that is why we have FPR. And we've had a lot of discussions lately about like how do we have to tweak things or move things or change language. Great catch. To adjust to advantages that owners are taking advantage of or that people may be abusing. I'm going to be relooking at the majority language that stands for 50% now, and that may be changing, but just I'm kind of over all of these ideas when it comes to FPR, that things have to be in black and white, things have to be spelled out. Every situation, everything has to be thought of fully. I've seen guys try to pick up free wins this Madden. We've seen guys, talk about playbooks and scripts, and I just want to play ball. I just want to play ball that's fair and that fits the gameplay that we have. Good to see you win. Sorry I didn't see your message. And it's draining to have the same conversations with the same handful of people about the same things over and over and over. And then there's the standard when it comes to scheduling. I've seen Denbrew call us out as a league. I've called us out as a league. The standard is the standard. We're a 3-day advanced league unless games are done sooner. You have 24 hours from the time the advance happens to not only message the owner with your full schedule for the 3 days, but to post your full schedule for the 3 days. And if there's not a post already up by the other guy, you are to put a post up and then send him that link. Both owners have 24 hours to make that happen. And then you figure out the agreed time, and then you post the agreed time, and you move on and you show up and you play it. Only in extreme circumstances and situations should you miss your scheduled time. It happens, life happens, but it should be rare. It should be very, very few and in between. And if you're like me, where you don't have an exact time and you give a time frame, then you're constantly communicating with that owner about that time frame. You are making sure that, picked off. Way to go, CD Deuce. You have let them know, hey, I can't hammer an exact time. I can't tell you show up at 9:15 for this reason. It's going to be between 9 and 9:30. I'll talk to you throughout the night. But you're showing up within that time frame, or you're communicating over and over and over and over. Those are the standards. Those things don't change. And in these conversations that I have, whether it's about FPR, whether it's about scheduling, whatever it may be, right? Those are the two biggest issues that I tend to see and have to talk about. I get these list of reasons, and the knee-jerk, the human part of me wants to give you my list of reasons, my list of things that I go through, my list of obstacles that I have to overcome to show up at my game times that I schedule, my list of obstacles that I have to overcome to make content, my list of obstacles that I have to overcome and still play here and not boot owners, right? Because we don't see eye to eye, or our personalities don't connect, or they just don't like me, and I'm not going to be their best friend, right? But they still play here, right? And so I just think I am one of the most fair, even, consistent, easy to understand. I respect loyalty and I hate disloyalty. And when people are disloyal to me, I'm ready to move on that moment. Like, to be totally honest, I'll let people finish, because I want to be fair, but like in my head, I've clicked out. I'm going to have a new owner and you're going to go play somewhere else, right? Like, because I'm pretty easy, simple dude to understand and to follow. And the standard is the standard. And you either want to hit that standard or can hit that standard, or you can't. And it's totally cool if you can't. If you can't hit the standard of 24 hours after advance, send your full schedule to the owner, post your full schedule, send a link, agree to a time, post that time. If you can't hit the standard of our FPR, of mixing up play calling, of not leaning on something to get some tactical advantage or take care of an AI flaw, it's not a place for you, and it's totally cool. Just let's find somewhere that fits for you, somewhere that you want to be. And right, wrong, or indifferent, it's my community. And so I'm just going to say what I got to say. If you don't like me as a human, you need to go play somewhere else. That is just the way it is. And in 2022, right now, actually, what Nate's doing as a personal growth opportunity for me, I did too. I thought you were the only one here, and the others started popping up, which is good to see. It's just quiet night. Totally get it. Poor Taysom Hill. This defense is just carrying this team. I'm not going to be the villain of all your stories. I know who I am as a person, and I've allowed this community at times, just a select few people in this community, it affect kind of my energy, affect kind of my emotions, affect kind of my effort sometimes. And that's just not going to happen moving forward. I love the grown folks community. I'm more invested than anyone into the OMFL and have been for an extremely long time. I want to see people happy here. I want to see people enjoying what we do, enjoying the content. It's why I put so much money. Like, I spent hundreds of my own dollars out of my paycheck on the drive home today, ordering new lights, ordering the stuff you see behind. Like, this is my money that goes into these investments, and I do it because I'm trying to give you content that you're proud of, that you enjoy, that you show up for, that you engage with. And so, automatic first down. What'd I miss? Was that a holding or? Oh, did he rough the kicker? Oh, he sure did. Please don't be hurt. I hope he got up. I'll take it though. That should seal the game, hopefully. We need a field goal. That's sad when you start we just need a field goal. So that's the standard, guys. 97% of us hit the standard. 97% of you guys, that slipper is not for you, Cinderella. You see me say that all the time because guys are always like, are you talking about me? Why are you calling me out? Like, I'm so sick of the call out messages. I don't call people out. If I have something to say to you, I will send you a message. If I don't send you a message, I'm just trying to be entertaining on our shows so that I'm not some brain dead, babbling idiot up here reading to you what I see. I gotta have an opinion. I have a right to an opinion. I have a right to try to be entertaining and keep you engaged. That's what I'm trying to do here. So cut me some slack. Hit the standard. If you can't hit the standard, newsflash, we all bought a PS5 to play here. We all made that investment. I made an investment into a $2,000 camera and several $100 lenses and several $100 of lights and Mike's arms and desk and $4,000 computer. And it doesn't mean I get to play those cards and say, well, you need to cut me some slack. No, it's like I made that choice to play here. So we made choices to play here. We signed up to play here. I'm more than fair and even and honest, and I just don't know what more to be. So I'm not going to be anything more except for a little bit harder on people and hold us to the standard. And look, that comes from Mike Tomlin. It's not originally from me. I just stole it from him. The standard's the standard, no matter injuries or whatever he said. They have a standard of excellence. Our culture here is that we want to hit a standard of excellence. And we're going to start doing that, or we're just going to go find some new owners. And that doesn't make anyone right or wrong or indifferent. It just means that we need to hit the standard that we have here in the OMFL. So now that blabbing is over, let's get over here and Let's look at some mailbag questions. I don't even know if we have any. I have not gotten a chance to look at them. I need to do snapshots tomorrow. So I will make sure that I do that. Too far. I think we did these. I just forgot to mark them. All right, Shots has got us a couple here. Who else we got in here? Denbrew. When I kind of did that last time. I mean, we can do a quick update, but I feel like I'll just be repeating myself. I don't know that a lot has changed in 2 advances since we did it. Did anybody else really dig? I didn't get to watch a lot of it, like literally just a few minutes sitting in a restaurant, but I enjoyed watching that PGA event this past week, and it was just fun to see Tiger and his son out there, and a lot of other I think it was like kids, children, like fathers and their kids or whatever. It was just really cool. Sharks fan says, who is currently the leader for Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year? Look, I think Dak's going to have to be in that conversation. Stafford's going to have to be in that conversation, especially for what he has done in not a full season, right? He had a couple of games where he wasn't here. Montgomery's got to be in that conversation. Wofford has to be in that discussion with 18 touchdowns. I know he doesn't have quite the yards that everybody else does, but oh God, this offense is terrible to watch. Cook is going to have to be in that conversation. He's right there. Just, I think the touchdowns kind of hurt him. The rookie receiver, Gatewood's going to have to be in that conversation. Hill's going to have to be in that conversation with 10 touchdowns. Is that a leader? Is that the leader? Oh, St. Brown. You know, his yards, his receptions are going to keep him low, but you can't deny 13 touchdowns. Schwartz may have to be in that conversation. I think it's going to be a running back, maybe the rookie receiver or one of the quarterbacks. I think that's who it's going to be a part of that discussion. The wind is doing some crazy things out there. Looking at some serious noises going on out there. Y'all stay here. I'm going to check that. All right, my bad, guys. The wind knocked down a bunch of Christmas decorations, but it sounded like somebody was trying to break into the house. It was so loud. Foster, I think, would be up there. I mean, look, he's right there with tackles. Tackles for loss is a little low. I think the defensive line, it's Christmas music. Yes, Wim. Deion Kane having a great season. Come on. Oh, no. That's the wrong button. Zadarius Smith is going to have to be there. Mac Jones, Chandler Jones. Mac Jones. What am I talking about? Khalil Mack. Chandler Jones. I just made up 2 people as one. Watt's going to have to be up there. No one's really running away with that just yet. Even in the interceptions, there's a ton of guys. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. There's a ton of dudes. McCourtney with 9, a bunch of dudes with 8, a bunch of dudes with 7. So I think it's early to kind of pinpoint. I don't know that anyone's super running away with it. I think it's a little bit more clear on the offensive side, but way more fluid on the defensive side. And I can't believe my Saints are going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with no real quarterback, no real offensive line, no real receivers, no real kicker. That defense just picking on Brady. We just have Brady's number, but I'll take it. We'll keep it alive. So that's kind of some of my ideas. Shocks you're here, so I'd love to hear what you're thinking, and if there's anybody that kind of comes to the forefront of your mind. Saints trying to get another turnover instead of tackling. Denver, thanks for taking my call. My question is a hypothetical one. With the game on the line, do you have more faith in your offense to drive down and make the game-winning score, or more faith that your defense can get the stop and preserve the victory? I'll hang up and listen. Good question. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear some of your thoughts. If I'm being honest, in Madden, I always have more faith in my offense, and I'm always scared on defense. And I think I play good defense, and I think I have a good defense, and it depends on the score. So if I'm up by 7 or down by 7, if I'm up by 7, I trust my defense. If I'm down by 7, trust my offense. But if it's a 3-point game, I don't trust either, right? Because it's just so easy to kind of get down there in field goal range and kick a 58-yarder pretty easy, right, with a good kicker. On offense, I don't like being down by 3 because I feel like you take a couple of shots and then you start playing. It's like a weird conservative take a shot. I would say, though, overall, kind of the guiding idea is that it's usually my offense. Yeah, it's usually my offense that I trust the most. Winneba said he does not trust his defense at all. Yeah, I mean, I do normally. I just get worried about anyone with decent, up to anything above decent skills on offense. I get worried about what they're going to do to me driving down and getting an easy score. I always get super duper nervous. So, well, guys, I guess that's it. I just wanted to get this out. We still got a 50-minute show done. Finished watching the Saints game. Not a lot of people around. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to happen this week, though. I'm excited about some new things that I'm going to work on. So, what I find sometimes, though, is my pass rush is usually better whenever there's like a game-winning drive on. I don't know why, but my guys seem to get after it, especially Davenport. So, also, Drew Brees, the only guy to pick the Saints. He looks really smart tonight. So that defense made him feel good. I just would like to know what it is about the Saints defense and Tom Brady, because they're now 6-0 versus him? That can't be right. Last year was his first year. 4-0 in the regular season versus him. So, crazy stat. Well, guys, I'm going to get out of here. A new Saints and Sinners and All 22 going to come out this week. I think we're going to play the Panthers tomorrow night. May even be able to go squeeze in a little shooters before we call it a night here. Fun couple weeks coming up here as we finish strong and kick us off for a fun 2022. I can't wait. Be healthy. Be safe out there. COVID's doing some craziness again. Make sure that you take care of your mental and physical health. That's the word I'm trying to kick. words to my enemy this late at night. Make sure that you keep yourself safe and healthy. Holidays, traveling, the stress of trying to do and buy and give and go and host, and just like all of it can be a bit much. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Know that this community is always here to support you. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to call some games. I see a lot of games coming out. I'm going to be sitting at home. I'm going to call some games. So maybe I can twist Wynn's arm to come call some games with me. I think that would be fun. So, guys, I love you. Have a great rest of your week. And can't wait to see you next time.
Smash that like and subscribe.